Hi everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Golden. I just came on here to do a life update on what's been going on with me, especially since my birthday is this Sunday, the 14th. So I kind of want to do an update of what's been going on with me. Um, at least to keep on my record, so whatever. Okay, so I want to start with last year, 2020 of March. That's when the quarantine and stuff happened with the pandemic. Um, from that time, it's like things have changed. It's like lockdown officially had started on my birthday at that time, which was Saturday of last year, the 14th. Like the pandemic completely started at that time. So uh I had that went on. I was still working the whole time. Actually, I worked even more. Um I was in school at the time, but I had to I was doing online classes, but it kind of I had to kind of I didn't enroll in the following semester because I was working so much with the pandemic that's happening. Like I was working so many hours, I just would not be able to maintain school and go to work. So I didn't go. Um Last year my marriage was on the rocks. Actually, me and my husband were literally about to divorce. Like papers were signed. Um we had split, like we were not living together anymore. Yeah, it was really about to happen. Like I had then thought it was time to move on. I started, online dating and let me tell you, it was a ringer. Um, yeah, me and my husband was just not connecting anymore. Like the love was just like gone. Bonito. Um, I was trying to, in my personal life, I was trying to become someone that I was not. I was so into, looking at the Instagram models and, Facebook and comparing my life to other people's life. And I was just trying to keep up with people. And I had a huge part in us splitting. Like, I just was trying to be someone that I wasn't. And doing that, he didn't love the woman I was becoming. I was always complaining. I was getting attention from other guys, and they was telling me, you're better than that and you should have something different and all that. And I was like thinking like, yeah, I should, but it wasn't really for me. It was just to get what they wanted from me. So I had to I had to go through the ringer with that. I actually had when we split, I actually started seeing this guy, and this guy was like, y'all playing the daylights out of me. Like I was going traveling to see this dude. He said like an hour away, and he lied to me about a lot of things. Like he just told me that someone was borrowing his car. He didn't even have a car. um his neighbor, he was in a relationship. Well, I don't want to say in a relationship. He said that was his best friend, but he was actually in a relationship with her. Like, just took me around the ringer. Like, and it's crazy because, okay, I'm telling you, this video is going to be everywhere because it's so much, like, at once. And I don't want to be fake and just be like, oh, I'm going to do this and do that. I want to be real. Like, while I was seeing this dude, God was telling me very loud and clear that he's cheating, he's not faithful, he's not being real. Like God was like times I was knowing this guy was doing things, And he was wondering, like, where am I getting this from? Like, why are you always thinking and all this? But literally, God would wake me up on my sleep and tell me that he was doing things. And I would call him and he wouldn't answer the phone or nothing. And, all this kind of stuff. And many times I even sat there and went there, pull up there, and he was with this girl. And me having a forgiving heart, I'm like, oh, he's saying, oh, we wasn't doing it. We were just talking and all this kind of stuff. And I know God told me what he was doing, but I'm just like, oh, okay, okay, whatever. But slowly I was pulling myself away from him. I don't know why I even fell in love with him so bad. I think it was on purpose. I was going through that phase on purpose because I had to see what I was doing in my relationship. Like, another reason why me and my husband relationship went on the rocks, because my infidelity. I realized that I was very insecure about myself. Like, I always thought that I had to have a man's approval to, I don't know, to be loved or that attention. I don't know what I was seeking. I know it stemmed from childhood, from, my sister always being the one who get the guys. And in school, they would make, call me names, and, I was just like being picked on and stuff. And I think like my confidence just was low. And I don't know, like the one man who truly loves me, I felt like he didn't love me, especially like things that happened before we ever got married. Like, he had a situation where, he stepped out on our relationship. We wasn't married, but, because he felt like I was doing something, which I was. But, so it was a lot of insecurities that had got in the way. So even while we were married, I was stepping out on our relationship. And I know I shouldn't have, but it was just like a root that I never allowed God to remove out of my life. So I jumped into marriage without getting God to work on me first. So that situation happened. Me dealing with the guy, I realized how I looked lying to my husband. Like, he would tell me, I know you're lying. I know you're doing this and that. And I'll be like, no, I'm not. I promise. And he'd be like, swear to God. And I'd be like, I swear to God. And that was wrong. I know it was wrong. You gotta tell me it was wrong. It was wrong. But I went through that phase with this guy. Now I have learned lessons that I would have never learned. I have no desire to step out on my husband anymore. I have no desire to cheat on him anymore. That is gone out of my life. So I'm thankful to God for that experience. I'm sorry to myself that I had to go through it to learn, but I know now. So that was something that happened last year. I had a car. It broke on me because I was going to see this guy like crazy, and my car broke on me. Well, I thought it broke on me. It actually didn't. I actually needed to drop the gas tank, and put a new one in because I sold it for like $1,000. And this person is riding like I didn't even have to sell my car, But I wound up getting a new car. It's not the car that I wanted, but I'm thankful to God that I have a new car. So I can get from point A to point B, point C, whatever. And I had problems with getting that. Oh, when I first brought it, it had a problem with it overheating. Oh, I brought it to them. They fixed it. Well, they say they fixed it. It worked for a day, and then they had the problem again. Good thing I bought the warranty. Brought it to another place. They fixed it. I had to pay some a little amount of money compared to what it was, the price they were saying. But you know, that's been resolved. What else happened to me last year? Like I said, me and my husband had we had to separate for 6 months. We did that, and like right before the 6 months, we had decided to get back together. And I still had these guys in my ear, you know. So we got back together, but it wasn't working completely because I still had this in my ear saying that, oh, he doesn't love you, he just using you, and all this kind of stuff like that. So it didn't go as planned, and we wound up splitting again. And this is how the papers actually got signed. But you know, I'm grateful to God. God stepped in and intervened because it was past the deadline to get the paper signed. And the lawyer was like, we had to wait another 6 months before we can get the paper signed again. And God changed everything around in my relationship. Like, if we would have got it signed, you know, it's just God stepped in and he did not allow the devil to intervene with my marriage. And I had to confess a lot of things to him before we could fix our relationship, and a lot of things that I was ashamed of, you know, as a woman, as a wife, as a person. I couldn't, like, hearing myself say all the things that I was doing, like, I, you know, did not realize I was becoming that type of person. And but I got closer to God, you know, during our time apart. I let everything go, and I was just concentrating on me and God. And so God, like, worked on a lot of things in my life. Like, oh, he exposed me. He let me see myself the way I am. And I had to see that a lot of things I needed to work on. So I did that. God saved my marriage. I had this situation where my mom, I've been helping taking care of my mom for a couple of years now. You know, I come like 2-3 times out the week. Sometime once if I was working a lot, whatever, and helping take care of her. And it was just like it started getting tough. I felt like I was the only one out of 3 of her children who was able to help. You know, I feel like I was the only one who had the biggest responsibility in taking care of her. And I will never forget, I was always asking people, like, why do I have to do this? Like, why am I the only one who has to put in all the work? Like, all these children she have, I'm the only one who have to take off of work to come help her, to go take her to doctor's appointments, to do this, to do that. And they just live their life and just don't care. And I guess they figured because I did not have children, I can take that time and do that. But it's like, that's all of our mother. But, you know, it had got so annoying that it was just me. And I never forget, I was tired of asking people, why am I going through this? And I decided to ask God, you know, why am I going through this? Why am I suffering like this? And God revealed to me, and I'll never forget, this was in December of last year. God revealed to me that my mom was one of his servants, and my mom was living in her last days, and he wanted someone to take care of her, you know, take care of her until she's received back to him. So, like, this made me cry. This made me literally, like, really tear up so badly. Like, I'm like, God, am I about to lose my mom? And, like, yeah. That was basically the answer. And I cried to my husband so much. Like, I was like, I got to take care of my mom. So it wasn't like, why I have to. Anything she asked me for, I did. My mom, it had got to the point my mom asked me to move in to take care of her. And I did. I dropped everything. I left my apartment. You know, my husband was staying in a whole different town. Because he wanted me to move in with him. That we had fixed our relationship. I know I need to go stay with my mom and take care of my mom. So that's what I did. Let's see. Oh, something else that happened. I'm sorry. Out of order. But something else that happened last year was my apartment needed to be fixed. Like, everything started breaking in that apartment. I'll tell you, when I was messing with this dude, a lot of stuff happened. My car broke at that time. My apartment, like, the water pipes bust in the apartment. So they had to do a lot of fixing on the apartment and everything. And I'm not going to say he caused that, but I was just going through. God placed me in the storm. And all of it was for my development of what he had in the future. So, okay, so that situation. So it was the losing myself, losing my marriage, discovering how I looked in a relationship by dealing with a guy who was doing the same things that I was doing while I was in a relationship with my husband. The apartment basically falling apart, and I had to spend numerous of days outside of my apartment while they fixing on it. My car broke down, and I had to buy a new one that I really could not have afford. But by the grace of God, I had to take everything that I was saving and just put it as a deposit, and got a note that was low enough that I can handle. And then, getting this word from God saying that, my mom was living in her last days. And then in December, my mom got the COVID. I got the COVID. My sister got the COVID. My brother got the COVID. My little brother didn't get it. But my mom had to go to the hospital. I was sick, but I had my little brother. I always took care of him. Anytime something happened to my mama, I took care of him. So he moved in. I kept him for a while, and then when I got better, I started taking care of my mom while she was sick, and going to work. So I would go to work and come straight off from work and go to my mom and take care of her, and then go right back to work. So and then my client who I work with got the COVID. And towards the end of 2020, God revealed to me that he was going to give me a child, that I was going to become a mother. And it was like the best thing that could ever happen to me. I'm like, I'm about to become a mother. Like, oh my goodness, And you guys, like, I was super excited. And it's like God was like I was getting closer to him, and my husband had said something. I said, Ryan, that's him texting me now. Ryan, we're gonna have a baby. And he was like, I think you're already pregnant. I'm like, thinking about it, because I thought I had a baby, but it only was like 3 days. And I'm like, let me see. So the next morning I got up and I went to go get a pregnancy test. And I took and I was so confident that I knew I was pregnant. I knew I was pregnant. I took the pregnancy test, put it in Walmart. I put it in the paper, the little wrap that it came in. Brought it home. Let me tell you. I brought 2 onesie things, outfits, a girl one and a boy one, because I'm like, I'm pregnant with twins. It's a girl and a boy, because I always been having dreams, always, like, all my life I knew I was going to have a girl and a boy. And especially when I got with him, it was just like very clear that I was to have twins. So I put it in a gift bag, and I'll show some pictures. Like, I put it in a gift bag, and I like I said, I didn't even look at the test. And I just brought it to him. I said, this is for you. I told him, God said, this is for you. He opened the bag. And the line, it wasn't even ready yet because we stayed so close to Walmart. Like it wasn't even fully done yet. And he was like, it didn't say positive at the time he looked. And he was like, why did you do that? Like, you can get our hopes up, stuff like that. And maybe too early and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry and all this kind of stuff. And I picked the stuff up and I put it in a box and I was just going to throw it away and stuff. And something told me to look back at this box. And I looked back at it and the positive was there. And I'm like, oh my God. And I dropped to the floor like I'm praying and thanking God. I'm crying. Like this was the best thing that could ever happen to me. And I was excited. I went back to work that day because I was off for 2 weeks with having the COVID. This was the day I came back to work. I was telling my client and everything, I'm pregnant, and they were excited and everything. And so that happened. Then 2 weeks later, my client died. Like I was at work and he died on my shift, and it was very heartbreaking. But honestly, I knew he was going to pass. God had the same, when God told me about mom, like a couple of days later, he told me about my client. And it's like, they say the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. That is absolutely true, because I feel like if God wouldn't have warned me that this was going to happen, I wouldn't know how to prepare for it. I think I would have probably have lost my mind. But I handled it pretty well to see how I am about, death and everything. But I handled it very well. And like 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later, I went to the doctor because I was feeling this pain. And I know that, I had a positive pregnancy test. So I wanted to go to the doctor to make sure everything was okay. I knew I had my first appointment would have been the following week, but I went to the doctor anyway. Went to the doctor. The doctor was like, I went to the emergency room. The emergency room was like, we need to do an ultrasound, immediately, whatever. But I was at like a small clinic and they had to send me to Baton Rouge, and it was like, we're going to put you in an ambulance. I'm like, no, we'll drive. And I'm like, what's wrong? And they're like, we can't say anything right now. We have to get an ultrasound, whatever. So went down there. Long story short about that, I found out that I lost the child. That was hard. That was very hard. That was devastating, because how long I've been trying to get pregnant, and it finally happened, and then I lost the baby or babies. And but I kept faith. I'm like, God did it before, he could do it again. God told me that I'm going to get pregnant this year. He told me God told me that I was going to have a child, but he needed me to take care of my mom first. He was going to give it to me, but he needed me to take care of my mom first. So I just thought, that I saw the pregnancy test, like, oh, okay, I forgot about everything. But I forgot his promise that he told me. He needed me to take care of my mom first. So, after the loss, I was just about to get ready to go back to work. I stayed out 2 weeks. I moved in with my mom in them 2 weeks. I was just about to get ready to go back into work. I got settled and was staying with my mom, and boom, January 31st, one of the hardest days I can ever imagine. I lost my mom. And that was like I know God told me, but I didn't think that it was going to happen so soon. And it's like I was there trying to help her breathe and everything, seeing her taking her last few breaths, and it was hard. It was very hard because I had started spending so much time with my mama. I had started spending so much time with my mama, and we was talking about so much. Like, we got really, really close. And, we talked about when me losing, having the loss, and she was saying that she had a dream that I was going to have a child. She had a dream that I was going to get pregnant this year. Okay. She had a dream that I was going to get pregnant this year. And she was telling me how I looked in the dream. She was like, you about the same size, Golden. And she was like, it's going to happen this year. She was telling me that how my hair looked, because, there's something else I forgot to say. Last year, I cut my hair because I was stressing so much. Like, I cut it all off. I went to go get it done for her to cut it, and she cut it way too short. But, it was okay because how much I feel like hair holds energy and memories and all this and that. So, yeah, she told me that my hair was a little longer and stuff in the dream or whatever. And, she was telling me what I was wearing and stuff like that. She was just like, I just had a dream that you was being baptized in the River Jordan. And she told me, Golden, you're pregnant. And I was like, to God be the glory, and everything, She told me the dream. And I knew that I was going to get pregnant again this year, because my mom had a dream about all her grandchildren and stuff coming. And I just knew that, okay, it's not over. It's not over. Like, God is verifying his promise that he told me that I was going to have a child this year. So after that, like I said, I had moved into the house with my mom. After my mom passed, I took on responsibility of my little brother. We were staying in my mom's house. My mom wishes was that whoever is taking care of my little brother, because my little brother, I have two brothers, but my littlest one is adopted. And she always said that I would stay in the house with my brother, and then when I would leave, he would have the house, because my brother is special needs. So she wanted everything to be already set for him. Like, we have him a job, and he will already have a house, and we'll get him a car, because we were older and we had those things already. We had places to stay in our vehicles and all, whatever, but she wanted him taken care of. So, and we all know that I was the one who was taking care of him. So I was supposed to stay at the house with my mom. I mean, take care of the house for my brother until he turns the age to take care of everybody. So, well, when people say one thing and then other things happen, like, my mom never did the paperwork to get the house put in his name. So what happened was, my other brother caused this trauma, this storm to occur, and he's like, my brother is adopted, he's not even blood, and he's not about to take his inheritance, basically. And we like, I'm like, why are you doing all this? Like, it was, my goodness, it was so much of it. I don't even want to elaborate on that situation, but I decided to take my brother, and we left the house, and we came stay in the apartment with my husband, because it was just so much drama. Like, it was really too much for one person to handle. And then I hear my brother started a rumor about me killing my mom to have the house. And I'm like, I had my mom asked me to leave everything, to take care of her. Like I had my own. I always did have my own. And, for him to say that, when like I sat there and did everything for my mom, like if I didn't get there and take care of my mom, she wouldn't have been taken care of at all. They probably would have put her in a nursing home or something. So for him to say that was just uncalled for, but it opened my eyes to see that, like God let me see who is for me and who is against me. After that situation, it was another situation with my brother, adoption. Like, my mama actually just had guardianship over him instead of adopting him. And it was a thing about the mom, the biological mom wanted to try to get him back and stuff. Just out the blue, having not been in his life for, he's 14, haven't been in his life for 14 years, and now wants to try to take him from the only home he know. It was just like, yeah, when I tell you, from March of last year to March of this year I have been in the storm. Like, I've been literally in the storm, but I'm still holding on to God. I'm not giving up. I'm not throwing in the towel. I feel like God just was preparing me for now. Like, I know everyone be like, oh, New Year's start in January. That New Year's don't start like that for me. New Year's start from March to March. Like, we in another March, I feel like my storm is just settling down from everything that happened to me. This storm is just ending. So the big thing that I wanted to make this video was because I am going back to trying to conceive. So I'm trusting God's promise that this year will be the year that I get pregnant. So I'm leaning on his word. So I thought about some things that happened to me when it happened earlier this year, what I was doing. So I know I was taking I was taking the Geritol. I'm gonna say it right this time. I know I was taking the Geritol every day because I had the COVID around the time. So I was taking them for like 2 weeks. No, I was taking it away for 2 weeks. And I was trying to lose weight, so I was eating really good. But I'm gonna go back to taking this, but I'm gonna take it at night. Another thing, I just always feel like God uses vessels to communicate with you. Like, even if you could hear from him yourself, but I always feel like, sometimes God sends people to send you a message. And I had so many occasions where people was telling me that this year you're having a baby. God spoke to me and said, this year you're having a baby. So, I really feel like, this month I am conceiving. So I met this woman at church. I was coming into church and the woman stopped me and she said, baby, I had a dream about you and you're going to get pregnant. She said, go get this pill. And it was this right here, the Wonder Day prenatal. She said, God told me to tell you that. The Holy Ghost told me to tell you this. I said, okay, soon after church, I'm going to get it. So guess what I did? Immediately after church, I showed my faith and I would go get the pills. So I'm going to take both of them. I'm going to take this one in the daytime and this one in the nighttime. I'm going to take both. I had another person at church told me, we was in prayer and she just came stop and she whispered in my ear and she said, I had a dream that God showed me that you're having a baby this year. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I was too excited. And oh my goodness. So that's another big thing. I'm about to start conceiving. So that's the main thing why I made this video, because I want to take you along with me in my conceiving journey, which I know it's not going to take long, because probably this month, I know I'm getting pregnant. Like, this is going to be a wonderful birthday present. Happy 30th birthday to me, because I know I'm getting pregnant this month. What else? Oh, something else good happened to me. So I have always, like, I just last year found my passion of what I love to do, and it's to like teach children God's word. I love the Bible. I love children, you know. And God, like, I'm like, well, what passion do I have to combine these two? And it was like, you know, to teach children's Bible study. So, you know, that's what I was going to do at my mom's house if I was still there, because like my nieces and nephews stay around the area. So I was going to host Bible study. But the situation happened, and then other situations happened with the family feuding, that they don't want, you know, the interaction of one another, the children with me. Not all of them, but, you know, my brother definitely did that with his kids. And my sister, she spared to let me deal with her kids. But at the end of the day, I knew God was going to find a way, because I wasn't doing this for any selfish act. I just wanted to teach the children the word, because I feel like a lot of parents do not know the word. And I just felt like if I could teach them close to the root as possible, as young of an age as possible, because they're not going to church and stuff. So I was like, if I could just done it, I could help out a huge bit. Like, you know, my biggest mission is to bring as many people to the kingdom of heaven as possible, and I just want to help them. And but God made it so. My church, I contacted my pastor, was asking him, you know, like what schooling and stuff, what I need to do to become a Bible study teacher. And he actually gave me an opportunity to teach children Bible study at my church. So, hi, I am the new Bible study teacher at Shekinah Glory Fellowship Church. So, yeah, thank God for that, you know. And it's funny because it's a big passion. Like, in my free time, I read my Bible, I watch sermons, I read books. I clown around my husband majority of the time, spend time with my little brother, you know. And I just feel like God just put my combo into action. And now I'm going to be teaching children's Bible study. I know that this month I'm going to be getting pregnant, so I don't know if I'm going to do that like more of a vlog style thingy, you know, just take y'all along with me. Because I've been wanting to try to do stuff like that. Like, I just feel like, go to stop saying you want to do it and just do it. That's why I just can't sit here and make this video. Like, I know it's just probably everywhere right now, but I just came and sat here and made it, because I was like, I want to do this and be laying in the bed thinking about it. Like, just put it to action. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to come and say. I know this video is long enough, and I don't want it to be any longer. So, thank y'all for listening, and stay tuned. I hope y'all come back for the next video. And I want to tell you I love you, and I wish love, peace, and happiness upon you and your families. Thank you so much. Bye.